Hello and welcome to my first tarot reading on YouTube ever. I'm a little bit nervous because, like I said, it's my first reading on YouTube. That being said, I've done readings before for friends, for maybe a family member or two, I don't remember. But normally I've gotten such positive I guess comments, feedback. People have said, oh, this is scarily accurate. And then they would actually tell me how it relates to them and whatnot. So over the years, I've come to believe that tarot is really just relative to our experiences. At first it was like, oh yeah, predicting the future. Wow, so cool, right? But now I'm just like, it has a more practical feeling to it. I have a more like practical, more intuitive approach to tarot. So it's not just like, oh, predicting the future, wow. Because I don't think, even if we have psychic abilities, which I'm pretty sure I have, clear sentience and clear audience and clear cognizance, but I think clear cognizance is higher up on that list. If you don't know what those are, you can look them up. I definitely recommend the channel The Gem Goddess if you want to know about that. But basically, I feel tarot is just a really, really like practical way of knowing like what to look out for, what to expect from our current experiences and moving forward. How to actually go about either changing the outcome that we see in the cards or going toward that outcome that we see in the cards. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of like who you ask. Some people will tell you, oh, it's the devil's work, blah, 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 whatever. And you know what? I get it. I understand. Because to some extent, people might use tarot and people have used tarot for that purpose, for darker, more occult things. It's in history. You can look it up as well. But tarot, from what I remember learning, was pretty much originated in China or some part of Europe. And it was really just a way, like a card, it was just a card game at that time. They were like, oh, let's just make cards. Each has a different picture or image or whatever, and people can use them to make up stories. And then someone along the way was like, hey, what if these cards were used as fortune telling? You make stories related to the future. And then it blew up. And then I think it kind of died down with the whole like that time period where, if I'm not mistaken, Spain and other countries were forcing people to convert to Christianity and all that. So it kind of died down after that. But then it's been more popularized now. But anyway, I've taken too much time explaining this. Let's just get into it. So this deck right here is my main go-to deck, right? And as you can see, like this is the back. It's really cool. It's really pretty. And it's the same no matter like which way you flip it, up or down. So you can't even like tell the cards if they're reversed or not. I have a few other decks where you can tell that they're like reversed because the image is like just one way, but this is really cool. So this is my go-to. This is normally what I do, like when people ask me for readings. I don't normally bring my other decks into it. But this is just going to be a generalized reading, so whoever it applies to, whoever feels it's for them, then it's for them. I'm not doing any Virgo or any like sign related or any pick a card right now because I feel like I'm not at that level of confidence yet. So I'm just asking Archangel Uriel to give me a generalized reading for whoever's listening. Sorry. Normally I'm not able to see the cards, but somehow because I'm positioned the way I am. Alright, so give me some good messages to give to the people of YouTube, to whoever's following me. Oh, would you look at that? 3 cards popped up. I'm not really looking for that. Oh, look at that. Normally, the way I see it, when cards pop out like that, when they just jump out onto the table or onto the floor, wherever I'm like located, it's because those cards really, really have like something important to say. All right. Sorry if that's kind of like off angle. So, I know I talked a lot. I talked for like 4 minutes straight. All right. Archangel Uriel and Archangel Michael and all archangels, please make sure that this is a good reading for my viewers. All right. So we have the 3 of Cups reversed. We have the 8 of Wands reversed and the Fool reversed. All right. And the 8 of Swords upright. Okay, this is an emotionally charged reading already. All right. So this spread right here is the spread that came with my tarot deck. If you can see here, real quick. This is Tarot, the complete kit. It's by Dennis. Who is it by? Dennis Fairchild. Illustrations by Julie Peschke, if I'm even pronouncing that right. And the book has the meanings, but I've learned not to look at that because then I get confused. So, yeah, as you can see, this is the present or the current situation. This is the past or whatever led to the situation. This is what to know, like more guidance on the situation, and this is the outcome. So, that being said, the 3 of Cups, normally the 3 of Cups is a time for celebration. You know, like 2's a crowd, but 3's a party kind of thing. So normally it means like, oh, you have, you know, something to celebrate, or you have something to like really feel good about, or, you know, you're just spending time with family or friends, what I'm getting. Cups is associated with water, so dealing with emotions themselves, you just like, normally you feel good, but since it's reversed, I feel like things are just not, or things are just not going your way, or you just don't feel like they are. But in hindsight, like, you know, maybe 5 years from now, you're going to look back and be like, oh, well, now I see the actual, like, not benefits. What was I? The blessings during the situation. But right now, you just feel like you're not in a good place emotionally. And I can see this in me too, because at this present moment, I'm just kind of like all out of sorts, you know. I wake up with energy, but my own mind is like, oh, well, you know, things are just kind of lacking. I feel like for some or most of you, you just feel like there's lack of things in your life, you know, lack of joy, lack of energy, maybe lack of like knowing where to go or what to do. So that's the present moment, you know. You just don't feel like in the right headspace. That's what I'm getting. And now the past, the past situation, or the events that led up to this, not, just feeling out of sorts. The Eight of Swords, right? So normally, if this were reversed, I could kind of see like you're moving on from things, but since it's upright, normally to me it just feels like there's just been a lot going on. Like, not necessarily eight specific situations or eight people, but just a lot has happened in general. And you feel, or you have felt, incarcerated by all of this. Because you can see it's a window. So you feel trapped, right? Swords deal with energy, element of air, anything that's just like up in the air, that's what I'm getting from that. Or just, like conflicts of sorts. I'm not going to say drama. I'm not going to say like you had specific people, but maybe you have specific people that have hurt you before, but you've just been through a lot, and right now you've like, or in the past you felt like you're just trapped. You're looking out the window. You're like, ah, like shit. You feel like shit pretty much. So right now you're just kind of out of sorts because you're getting through it slowly, but right now you're just not like in the right kind of like mindset because you felt trapped before, or you feel trapped right now. That's what I'm getting from the Eight of Swords. And then the Eight of Wands. Normally the Eight of Wands, kind of reminds me of the Chariot, because here it's like a wheel, and then it has like, it basically looks like a sailor's wheel, and then an actual clock inside of it. So I think the wheel is imitating the clock, which is like the passage of time and everything. The Suit of Wands normally deals with the element of fire. So anything that has to do with, sorry, I was looking at my cat. My cat's over there, off to the side. Anyway, so the Suit of Wands, fire, anything that has to do with like creativity, or any kind of like passion, or like really really heavy emotions, can be good, can be bad, depending. Or anything that has to do with spontaneous actions, or anything that happens spontaneously. So it could be success if it happens overnight or whatever. Anything that just happens in the blink of an eye. That's what I'm getting from the Suit of Wands, the Suit of Fire. So normally this would just imply, the passage of time is going by very quickly if it were upright. But since it's reversed, I just feel like you've been feeling like everything's happening slowly now. Like with this card, it just implies like everything's been going on like at once. But now things have just slowed down, and now you're just kind of finally processing everything. And that's why you feel out of sorts, because like back then you felt trapped, you felt heavy, and now you're just kind of slowly getting out of that mental rut, out of that like being stuck, but you still feel like, this isn't happening quick enough. This isn't where I want to be right now at this moment, but there's nothing you can do about it, Basically, slow down, process everything. You're still gonna feel out of sorts in August, I feel. And pretty much just watch out for everything that happens spontaneously, or watch out for being impulsive, because that's what I'm getting too. Because time is like, slowed down or whatever, nothing's really happening right now. You may feel the need to be impulsive about something. You may feel the need to just like put yourself out there, for those who are brokenhearted. I'm also getting that. But don't just don't be impulsive. Don't put yourself out there so quick. Take the time to process everything. Take the time to really like look back. Don't be so hard on yourself either. Like that's what I'm getting. Don't be hard on yourself because you felt trapped before. Don't feel like it's your fault. Never feel like it's your fault. And even if it is your fault, don't beat yourself up for it. Because that's what I've learned the hard way. I've beaten myself up for so many things for so long that at some point you just have to like really look at yourself and be like, okay, was this specific situation my fault? Maybe part of it was. All right, but that's that. Like, all right, it was my fault. Maybe I fixed it. Maybe I didn't fix it. Whatever. On to the next situation. Was the situation my fault? No. Was the other person just being an asshole? Okay, then you have the right to be mad at them, but at some point you're still gonna have to move on and keep analyzing every situation. And then here with the outcome card, the 0 of the major arcana, the Fool. This one's called the 0 because normally in the major arcana, one theory is that all the major arcana are like different stages of life, or just like different stages of like your, not different, like different aspects of your personality too, I guess. And the other one is just that every card is also a like major theme in someone's life, or like universal themes. So could be forces out of your control as well. But with this card, normally the Fool implies, oh, you're just starting on something, or like you're probably a little bit naive or whatever, you know, that kind of thing, or you're gonna be impulsive about something. That's what I'm getting. But since it's reversed as well, I'm getting that because of this, because of how you're feeling now, because of what you've been through, because you're slowing down and you're processing everything, you're not going to be the fool anymore. You are pretty much wiser now, you're more knowledgeable now. Once you realize that this is only temporary, or you've already realized this is temporary, but you still feel out of sorts, you're not going to feel so naive. You're not going to feel so taken advantage of. And you're not going to let it happen again. Because as we learn, we grow. So you're not going to feel like as weak as you were, you know? You may be feeling weak right now. And I pretty much that's what I'm getting for all of us, like especially with my friends, like in my inner circle and everything. We're all just feeling out of sorts lately. And it could just be like that's the energy in the air, like in general. But I know, like, after a certain point where like enough is enough. This is what needs to change. This is what I need to cut out my life, or these are the people I need to cut out my life because of certain things or certain situations, and you know, like feeling wronged. Sorry if you heard a thud, it's because my cat tried jumping onto the windowsill and fell. But oh, now he's okay. Never mind. Anyway, so this is just like a confirmation that you're pretty much going to look through every aspect of your life in August. Not all at once. Like, take a day to sit down and think through things. Like, or take every day to think back on one specific thing. And if you need to forgive someone, take like a specific day where you're gonna forgive someone, and then the next day you forgive someone else, and then the next day you know, keep it going. Or if you don't feel like you're at that point of forgiving anyone, maybe just start by forgiving yourself, you know? Because with this and this, it just feels like, oh, it's all on me. It's all my fault. It's like I'm the bad guy. and maybe you've been feeling like this for a long time, but you never let it really get to you until now. So just take August to really sit down and focus on healing yourself. You know, just heal yourself before you can heal others. That's what I'm really getting. You're not going to be a fool anymore. You're going to come out wiser, stronger, better if you just take the time in August to just go through everything day by day. Okay? And you're not alone. I know everyone says that. Every tarot reader says that. Every person says that at some point or another. But just know that whatever you're feeling right now, this is pretty much what most people are going to be feeling throughout August, And if you need to reach out to anyone, you can reach out to me. Or, like, if you're specifically a friend of mine, like, I'm always a message away, or you can become friends with me. I don't care. I'll talk to anyone. This is my first tarot reading ever. So, like, right now I'm a little bit nervous. I'm a little bit, like, out of sorts. So, there you go. Like, you're not alone. I'm with you, okay? And I'm sending prayers that we're all just gonna, like, get through this funk in August. Because September, September is Virgo season, and I'm trying to party for my birthday, okay? I'm trying to party, and I do not need this to interfere with that. Like, this energy. I don't need it to interfere with that. But that being said, if it's your birthday in September, if it's your birthday in this month, Leo season, or this month, Virgo season, happy birthday, reach out to me, or, contact me for a reading for yourself. That's what I'm here for. My readings are $10 or $5. I mean, does it really matter? Like, I love tarot. I love helping people. I still need to heal from things that I don't want to talk about. I'm talking too much. I'm sorry. If you want a specific, like, sign reading, like Virgo, Sagittarius, Leo, Libra, like generalized sign readings, I could do that too. Just let me know. Comments, like, whatever. Contact me personally, whatever. That being said, goodbyes. Love you.